Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson of drawing with Blizzard Ninja. So in today's lesson we're going to be talking about how to draw faces or heads. How to draw faces basically. So the face, constructing a face, it's actually like one of the most simplest concepts when it comes to drawing, because all you have to do is you have to understand what you call this thing, the structure. So we're gonna start off with a circle. Right, let me open that wide. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start off with a circle. All right, so one thing that you have to keep in mind is when you're drawing faces, what you have to do is you have to notice the let me just quickly center that so that make it look proper. Okay, so this is the base. The base is a circle, like what I discussed previously, like I discussed it a little bit. So what over here, what happens is, one thing that you have to understand is that it's little structures, little shapes that have been put together to create one shape. So like again, like what we discussed, we know the construction of shapes. So now, so if you guys want to check out that video, the video of how I spoke about when I was talking about deconstructing shapes and constructing shapes, the video, it's in my, you can check out my previous videos. And then also how to deconstruct shapes so you understand shapes much more better, the video is also there. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in mind is that drawing a face is basically little shapes that have been put together to create one shape. So a face on its own is a shape, a complex shape. Okay, so we're gonna divide our little, so first off we're gonna start off with drawing a sphere, a circle. Then we're gonna divide that circle with the line, and then we're gonna divide it again with the line. So in this case I'm just gonna divide it over here. All right, and it depends on how you draw it and stuff, but then I like dividing my circle right here. I like dividing it right here. All right, and then again I like dividing it in the middle. So I create this portion for myself. So this is where my face will be. The hair will be over here. All right, let's get started. So now that's my base. So I'm gonna layer it. I'm gonna create another layer, and then I'm gonna start. So what you do is very simple. So after dividing it, because this is now the forehead line, that's now the eye line, and then that's the chin line. But I'll show you what I mean. In this case, let me use a mirror tool. It's going to be easier. All right, got it. So now we're going to get started. So again, go crazy, go wild. You don't have to draw the face the way I draw my faces. You can draw your face in any way you wish, in any way you want to, in any way you can. Besides, it's your drawing. You want it to pop. I'm gonna redo that again so that you can see what I did. So you see what happens, right? I already created what you call this thing, enough room for myself. So in this area right here, this is where what you call this thing, this is where the magic happens. So this was my eye line. All right, construct my eye line, my eyes. And remember guys, I'm just keeping this thing pretty simple. I'm just roughing it out. Let me turn off this, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the nose. So with the nose, it's not that big of a deal. It just depends on what is it that you're going for. All right, we'll come back with the nose just now, and then we add the mouth. we had the mouth there. Now with the nose, you can go crazy with this, like literally you can go crazy. You can design whatever it is that you feel like. You can either do something like that, my bad, something like that. You can have, but then the easiest way to draw a nose is just have a little circle in the middle. Have a circle in the middle, have a circle over here, another circle over here. You erase those two circles, erase those two circles, you add lines, you erase this, and then bingo, Bob's your uncle, you have a nose. But there's many ways to draw noses, guys. For me, normally when I draw my characters, you know, I always go for the cartoon or for the anime slash cartoon style nose, the type of noses that they like drawing in Dragon Ball Z. So it can be anything, so it can be that. The whole point of you to understand this, okay, let me dim the shape of this. Wrong. Okay, let me dim that shape so that you can see what's going on. So the reason why they draw the nose like this is because it's pretty simple to follow, because again the idea is their nose shape is going like that, and that's it's completing the nose. So then again there's what you call this thing. So then when you do the shading, you'll shade this part, you'll shade this part, you'll shade this part right here. So again, if you want, you can add your nostrils or anything. So what they're basically telling us is that over here the light's coming from there, and this part is the shadow part. So shadow, this is where the light's not hitting this area here, that's why it's there. And then this shade, this part is where the light is. You understand? Because as you can see, when it comes to drawing noses, I'm gonna go in detail in one of my videos on how to draw noses, because as you can see, your nose, it's like this. Or let me make it even, maybe make it into a much more 3D shape so that you can understand what's really going on when it comes to drawing noses. Okay, so this is a nose. This is a nose. So with the nose, the light's coming from this part here, but then the light does not hit this part. So when the light does not hit this part, that's when it creates, so then we're basically saying it's a solid shape. So that's where we have this thing, because of the light's not touching this area, so it's bouncing, so it's coming straight over there, but then over here indicating that this is the complete nose, right? It's just the only thing is that the light's not coming this side, hence this side gets shaded, this part gets shaded, but not this part. This part just, we just leave it like that. So this is for more like stylized type of characters. It's for the more stylized type of characters. So I'm gonna go into detail and drawing faces, drawing noses and mouths, eyes and everything. But right now I'm just teaching you the basics on how to construct a face. Alright. And then I'll also touch deeper into this topic so that you guys can fully understand, because there's a lot of theory that goes in when it comes to drawing faces. There's a lot of things that you guys need to understand and know when it comes to you drawing faces. So now I'm just adding my eyes. There you go. And then eyebrows. You add eyebrows, and then you add the ears. Oopsie, that ear is too. Okay, let me just fill all of this in using the thingy tool, the symmetry tool, because I mean it's much more efficient. I cut my workload by half. Okay. Yes, I know his ears are too big, but it's worth a shot. At least you can see what's going on. Let me quickly turn this off. Now with the hair, I'm just gonna construct whatever comes to mind. So with the hair, you can literally go crazy as well. Just whatever feels right. Whatever feels right. Whatever feels right for you. If you wanna completely ignore the laws of physics when creating hair, by all means do so. Besides, like I always tell you guys, the world is your oyster. All you should do is just have fun. Then, of course, now turn that off and bingo, I've got myself a face. See, pretty simple. It's just a matter of just slapping shapes together in order for you to come up with something. So yes, I am gonna go into detail when it comes to the hair, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears. So this is basically, because I know you guys who are watching this, you guys have got a minimal skill of drawing a face, of drawing a face, but you guys want to know how to draw it correctly. But this is how. That's how to draw it correctly. You have to portion it. You have to portion the circle very well, very carefully, and then you construct it. So you understand. So that's how it is. That's how it is when it comes to drawing. Because right now what we're doing is just doing the construction side. But as time goes on, I am gonna teach you and show you guys the breakdown on how to properly construct, what you call this thing, all the aspects properly. Why certain things you use them certain ways, when you're drawing certain characters, what you do. I will get to all of that. But for now, this is what I got in store for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.